Protea's augments are actually very fun. Nowadays, she doesn't even really need a subsume. I mean, come on, her fourth ability is pretty freaking cool in concept, so why not use it? If that's what you're looking for, well, you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Kay. I like making goofy builds and doing funny stuff. If you find this video either entertaining or helpful, please give it a like and subscribe. Now, let's get right into the video. Protea. Protea is a genus of South African flowering plants, also called... Oh wait, wrong one. That one's for my college assignment. Protea was actually assigned to protect Parvos Granum. As such, if you use this Warframe, you are a power bottom. That's what it says. I don't make the rules. I mean, she literally fondles balls. Also, one of her elements has a frickin' ponytail. Mandatory kit explanation time. Her passive, every 4th power cast, is granted 100% ability strength. It's actually pretty interesting to play around, though I mostly use it to buff her 3rd ability for more drops. Her 1, tap for slash damage, hold to stop to regain your shields. Also, when shields break, a satellite is destroyed to double minimum shield gate invincibility time. So, play around with that. Her 2, turret, blaze artillery. It's a turret. Deploys an artillery unit to blast plasma charges at enemies it faces. Each enemy hit increases the power of subsequent plasma attacks. Her 3.
Erect in a dispenser.
Dispensary. Deploys a device that generates 3 pickups after a short delay. Empowered health orb, universal armor pack, and energy orb is literally really good ability. Hey you! Yes you! Are you tired of always dying in Arco hunts or arbitrations? Are you tired of lying on the ground watching your teammates do absolutely nothing to revive you? Well, say no more! Introducing the revolutionary temporal anchor, or as I like to call it, I don't consent, death. For the low cost of just 100 energy, you can magically bring yourself back to life. No waiting, no begging, and definitely no relying on your team. Call now or don't, you're already dead. And return, by death, your Warframe experience today.
Warning, this ability is not intended for spamming, cheesing, or creating an indestructible tank. Side effects of misuse may include team frustration, unnecessary cooldowns, and premature overconfidence. Please use this ability responsibly as a fallback solution when a premature demise feels imminent. Increased efficiency and duration are highly recommended for optimal results.
Now the purpose of this build guide, her 2 augments. Temporal erosion. While temporal anchor is active, each strike of grenade fan and blaze artillery strips 10% armor from enemies. And it scales with strength, so this is really good. It doesn't work for her hold ability though, because it doesn't deal damage, so if you want an armor strip, make sure to use her tap ability, which does damage. Temporal artillery. When temporal anchor is activated, one existing artillery unit will attach to Protea, halting its duration countdown. Max combo is 20 times. Now you might think that this 20 times nerf is bad, but you can still summon 2 others. It's just that you can bring one around with you wherever you go. It's a really strong thing to have. Obviously, it's not necessary, but it's just nice to have. So basically, one turns her into an armor stripping monster, and the other lets you bring your little turret friend for a ride, like a little birdie on your shoulder. Except that birdie wants to commit mass murder on everyone and let 3rd degree burns. Anyways,
using a revolutionary technique,
you can make them...
Nothing was never anywhere.
Or actually... Protea has 2 mechanics she really likes. Heat inherent and shield gating. I won't bore you with the details, but for an unga-bunga explanation, big heat percentage on weapon plus Bane mod, give to turret. Are you still with me? Is that too complicated? Basically, all that means is you want to put heat on any of your weapons, cause big damage. Now, for shield gating, hold her 1 and turn immortal. Oh. Hold her 1 and turn immortal. Hold her 1 and turn immortal. So, before we get to the build guide, just a disclaimer. I will only be showing you one build as the main focus of this guide. There might be better substitutes for helmets that you might find, and if you do, post them in the comments below. But as of now, I just want this Protea to not have anything changed about her, and I just want to chill with her base kit. Bye to the bye. This is the Protea I will most likely daily drive from here on out. Her other builds which use Chorus Subsume are now outdated because of this build, so do with that information what you will. Now to the build guide. The purpose of this build is for you to add on your own weapons and stuff to your liking. I will still show you what I use though, but if you want to use some other weapons, go ahead. Protea is generally just a really good Warframe on her own. Let's start with Protea herself. For Archon shards, you don't really need any for her. At best, you might need some power strength, but that's really it. These ones I just slotted in because I wanted it to be a little easier to make her. Other than parkour Archon shards aren't really that needed on her. Now, for her mods, for her aura slot, there's only really one that reigns supreme on her, and that's growing power. Oh wait, let me just get rid of that and put that there. Okay, for her Exila slot, put on whatever. I mean, if you want, you could put on Prime Sure-Footed, but we'll talk about not needing Prime Sure-Footed in the focus school section. Honestly, overrated mod in my opinion. It's honestly, why the fuck is this using every fucking build on my fucking god? I hate this mod so. For the mods, we want Blind Rage, the two augment mods, obviously. If you want more, if you want to remove temporal artillery, that's totally fair. Make sure to keep her temporal erosion. Prime continuity so that we get more uptime on temporal anchor. Prime flow so that we got a bit more energy. Archon vitality for more heat procs. Rolling guard so that you can scale higher. This is our flex slot. If you want, you could put on stretch here, and it'll make everything you use easier, especially grenade fan. 8 meters. That 3 meter increase is huge, but for blaze artillery, you don't really need more than 30. And also equilibrium. Equilibrium is basically made for this. Now, you might be thinking, equilibrium again? I mean, yeah, come on, her dispensary ability literally promotes the use of this mod. Oh, and by the way, if you're too lazy to farm for equilibrium, if you finish the Chains of Harrow quest, you can always go on over here to Iron Wake and go to this trash can over here and buy yourself a flawed equilibrium mod. It's not as good as the real equilibrium mod, but it should be good enough, right? Now for her arcanes. The Molt Augmented, it's a really good arcane, just slot it on. Molt efficiency is nice, but if you want, you can choose whatever from whatever. Personally, whenever I play against infested, I use arcane resistance. Now, for weapons, I use Exceltra. I can't use this thing anywhere else, so it's on her. Also, it looks nice. Just a basic corrosive heat belt. By I can't use it on anywhere else, it's because this thing runs out of ammo very quickly. Here's just a basic corrosive heat slash build and the epithet. You know how I said heat inherit? Heat inherit. Oh, and Bane mods work as well. So if you have that, you can always slot that in here. But I personally don't like doing that, so we're not gonna do that. Okina Prime is just there because it looks nice on her. You can always choose a better melee, but I like this one. Now, for companions. This time, we can actually choose what we want from this. Of course, the Panzer Volpaphyla is very nice and you can definitely use it, but for me, I personally use the Nautilus Prime for the grouping. It's generally just very nice to have when your enemies are put in front of you. Now, for the Nautilus Prime's build. Basically, Cordon, Tenacious Bond, Reinforced Bond, Calculated Redirection, so that Reinforced Bond can do its thing, and then Duplex Bond, and then some extras here that you can put whatever. But for me, I put Prime Animal Instinct here because it's just really fucking good. It's just really good. And that's basically it for the build guide. Now, here's me playing her for a little bit before you go. Now, I'd just like to thank you guys for watching the video all the way through. We also managed to break through the 1K viewer milestone on my first ever video on this channel, so thank you for that. And if you want more of my stuff, come hang out with us on Twitch, and I also post whatever I do on Twitter or Blue Sky. Cheers!